Hi fam and welcome to a new video. Today I am here to make resolutions because Happy New Year! We are in 2022. Oh my god, where is time taking us and what is happening to this world? I hope that your 2022 so far has been decent, good, wonderful. I don't know. But yeah, I am just here to talk resolutions because here's the thing. People say that resolutions can't be kept. I say that they can because I feel like they are a framework of like goals that you want to keep, and then you should be careful about them because like don't put resolutions that you don't think you're going to keep. Okay. uh But what I thought would be fun was that last year I did like a resolution video where I had 21 resolutions, and I thought that would be cool to react to them. If you do not have any bookish resolutions, these can give you some like insight, and just like maybe you can make them too. Maybe your resolution is just to read a book. That's fine. You do you. And if that is your resolution, then like, hey, I have an entire playlist to help you read. It's literally called that. So I will link you to that. But let's get started. Let me open up my trusty little laptop here with these cool fun stickers with like shit on them. They're my favorite emoji, by the way. And let's look at my resolutions of 2021 first. Okay, let us press recording and let us listen to me. Hi fam and welcome to day 3 of my end of the year series where I am making videos that I didn't do this series, but I have fun videos coming up now. So check them out because it's gonna be fun. Let's begin. So I want to start off by saying that I don't like putting numbers in the beginning of the year. So like for example, my Goodreads goal for 2020 was 50 books because I like to put a small number and then like sort of achieve it and then keep increasing that number. So for example, this year I have reached 120 books. Okay, essentially over here I was saying that I don't like putting numbers. Like I don't like my goals to be quantitative. I like them to be qualitative. I don't put a certain number in terms of like, hey, I want to read 150 books this year or like 50 books this year or like whatever. I start off with a smallish goal, which is like 50 books, and then I just keep increasing them because I don't like to put that pressure on myself. I think that like we read for fun, so like, you know, just put a small goal, and then once you achieve that, you can just keep like increasing it. It's just fun that way you can read like bigger books and like do whatever you want with it. That was essentially my idea, and that's what I follow. I followed it then, I followed it now. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. I'm gonna skip ahead to wherever I can. Yeah, see, I keep going. But anyway, let's start with number 1. And number 1 is read more of what you feel like. Read more of what you feel like. That is a great goal. And I think I followed it to a large extent. I did read books that I felt like I didn't feel like pressured to read certain books just because like other people were reading it and I felt like I had to read them too. Sure, that does happen to a large extent, but that wasn't like my major chunk of reading. However, I also feel like I didn't follow this because there were a lot of books that I really wanted to read that I couldn't get to because like I had like video plans and like certain things that were happening in that month with these video plans or whatever, that made me just end up reading like other books instead of the books that I really wanted to read. Not like these other books weren't books that I wanted to read, but I could have maybe read them later and read this chunk of books that I really wanted to read instead. But that's fine. That's one of my resolutions for 2022. You will see. We're learning, guys. All right, what's my next one? My number 2 is very connected to this previous one, and that is to read books that I think are only going to be 4 or 5 stars. Okay, I did follow this to a large extent. This was a question that I asked myself before I picked up a book. Sure, there were certain books that I did pick up which I did not think would be very good, which were like probably like really short though. So I think that was fine. For example, like Kissing the Coronavirus. I did not think that that was going to be like amazing literature, but I still picked it up because Well, I was curious. All right, that's fine. But most of the books that I did end up reading were either like 4 stars or 4.5 stars or 5 stars, which I think is a really good thing. So I think I did pretty well with regards to that. So, and the third resolution also connects to the previous ones, and that is to get better at DNFing books. Yeah, or do not finishing books. That's basically what I was trying to say. DNFing books, I think I succeeded at this one as well. I think I DNF 5 books this year, which is way better than what I was before. I think that I've come to terms with the fact that like DNFing a book is totally fine. I was the sort of person who was like, no, pull through. But I think I am slowly succeeding at like actually DNFing a book. I think I still have like time to work up to just like being cold hearted and being like, no, this book is not working for me, just stop. But yeah, I think that like I'm getting better. The mindset is in. I figured that out this year, so that's good. My number 4 resolution is going to make, I think, my bank account feel really happy, and that is to not buy that many books. That did not work. I think I bought about 400 books last year, and that includes like ARC copies and ebooks and all of that. But I did not follow this at all. I was very disappointed with myself with this. I spent a lot of money on books last year, and it was just a bad like this. I did not follow this one at all. Like fully failed resolution. Number 5 is something that I have been doing in 2020, but I want to keep continuing doing that in 2021 and the years that follow, and that is to buy and support independent bookstores. In 2020, a lot of the bookstores. Yeah, okay, so I have been doing this as well. I have been buying from a lot of indie bookstores. I think that's just part of like my psyche and the way that I function now. I buy a lot from bookstores within my city as well as like nationwide, the people who do deliver to like me. So I think that I have definitely followed through with that. I will also link you to like my Excel sheet, which I have down below, where there are a bunch of like independent bookstores that are absolutely amazing. Off the top of my head, we have Kitab Khana, we have Trilogy, we have Blossoms, we have Champaka, we have Bari and Sons, we have just so many amazing bookstores, and I think that like yeah, I've definitely supported them with a lot of books, as I said, because I failed my previous one. So Number 6 is I need to read more from my shelves. I did not do that. I did not read more from my shelves. In fact, let me check my what's it called? I have like a tracker, and I can see the number of books that I read from my shelves, and I'm pretty sure it's like 40 of the 150 plus books that I read, which is not good at all. Yeah, okay, not even 40. I read 23 books from my shelves. 73 were new books that I bought that year itself and then read, and 61 were borrowed, which were like either ebooks borrowed via Libby or like whatever, like Scribd or whatever, like those subscription services. But yeah, very bad, very bad. Need to improve on that desperately. Number 7 is to unhaul books if I don't want it. Sort of, yes. I unhauled 140 plus books this year. Some which have still not gotten to people, which is very frustrating. I use like a courier service that may not have been the best, but I did unhaul 140 books, which is great, but I still feel like I can do way more. So I am going to do that. That's another plan that I will continue for this year. Just like let it go. Number 8 is reviewing each and every book that I read. I Yeah, okay. I did not do this either. I did not review each and every book that I read. I probably did it on YouTube, though. I don't know if you've noticed. I have not reviewed any of the books that I've read in October, November, December. Like, I usually have like a wrap up, but I didn't end up doing it for October, November, December. So I will be doing that on YouTube soon, but I wanted to do it on like Instagram or Goodreads or something like that, but I just never ended up doing it. So failed. Number 9 is connected to number 8. Surprise, surprise. And that is to get better at reviewing books. Get better at reviewing books. I don't know if I have gotten better, though maybe because I feel like the tracker that I use, which is, the online tracker that I have, that you too can use if you want. I will link you to that thing where I take you through my tracker, as well as like give you a free version of it. Essentially that one I use the Papile system, and through that, like, I understand and pay attention to more aspects of the book. Like, I try to pay attention to what I thought of the characters or the atmosphere or like the plot and the writing in general. Like, I give points to each one of them. So I think I have gotten better. I may not have written those reviews. Oh, so there's that. But I do think that the way that I criticize books or critique books, not criticize books, has become better because of my constant like needing to like rank books based on like those criteria. So I think that has definitely helped. But you know what could also help would be for you to tell me what you look for when you look at a book review. If there's something in particular that you look for, let me know. I also do want to shout out the series that I started this year about like the thriller bit, where I had like those 5 criteria and I like reviewed books based on those 5 criteria. I think I did a pretty good job with that one. I really like that one. So yeah, I think I did pretty good. But like, if there is something else that you really look for in a book review, then let me know. Number 10 is number track 10. My books better. And by this I mean I definitely have been tracking my books amazingly. Okay, like my tracker is absolutely nuts. I love this tracker that I have. I've also like update constantly on Goodreads, on Storygraph, both of those things. So I have a tracker, Goodreads, and Storygraph. So I've been tracking my books pretty well. All right, so I'm good with it. And that is all connected to the next few resolutions, which is something that I literally just spoke of right now. But it's like, I'm gonna call this my read more of section, because I want to read more of certain things. But I want to make sure that I am tracking this on a monthly or like a quarterly basis at least, because I feel like it doesn't make sense if I come to the end of the year and realize that, oh shit, you know what, Smriti, you didn't read too much of nonfiction this year. I feel like you should have read more. Because, like, okay, I didn't do this. Like, I didn't like come here and tell you guys about like the books, but I was constantly looking at my graph chart thingy. Okay, like, because I like looking at my stats and graphs and all of that. So yes, but yes. But in terms of my read more categories, this is what it is. The number 11, or like number 1 in this read more category, is read less. Actually, it's read less, but read less from the US and more diversely from around the world. Okay, read less from the US. I think I did end up reading a lot of the books from the US. There was a 50%, I think. Let's see. Okay, so 39.5% of the books that I read were from the US, which I think is a huge shift than what I had last year, which was about like more than 50% of the books were from the US. So I think I did that pretty well. Though I do want to read from more countries and from more areas and from ethnicities and all of that sort of stuff. I read from 28 countries this year, so I think that's pretty good, but still I can do better. So number 12 is read more classics. I did not read many classics. I wanted to, but I feel like I completely forgot about this one in the previous year. Not like in 2020, I read like a bunch of classics before I turned 30, and that was really good fun. I really enjoyed a lot of the classics that I read. So it is actually one of my resolutions for this year, which you will see in my upcoming like thing. But yeah. 13 is to read more nonfiction. I have not read too much of nonfiction. I think I read maybe 16 nonfiction books this year out of like the 150 plus books that I read, which is not good at all. I feel like I could have done way more, and I don't think that I achieved this to a large extent. My number 14 is to read more Dalit fiction or nonfiction. Oh my god, this was so bad. I I think I read 4 Dalit books this year, including like The Annihilation of Caste, which I started in the beginning of the year, like in January. So I was really, really bad at this. I kept saying that I would read a Dalit book and I kept it out, and then I just ultimately never got to it. So this one I really failed at, but I need to get better at it. So definitely do need to be more cognizant of this one. So failed that one, but number 15 is to read more LGBTQIA fiction, non-fiction, and this okay, LGBTQIA. I okay, so if you see my chart over here, which says like the themes of things, so I did end up reading say 45% books that did have LGBTQI themes in it. However, when you see the like sexual orientation of the authors that I read versus that was straight versus queer, that was quite shit. So I think like 78% of the authors that I read were straight, whereas the rest were queer, which is okay, but not good. I would like to increase this number for sure. So that's probably gonna be something that I need to look out for. And then number 16 is to make sure that I read more non-binary, trans authors and also women authors. I think I did okay. So with regards to gender, I read 100 books that were written by female authors, whereas the rest in terms of trans and non-binary, I read only 13. So I definitely think that I can do better with regards to that. So that's something I can be better at, but I feel like this was definitely way better than my previous years. So I think I'm gonna count this as a win, but I do think I can do better. And then number 17 is to just read more translated fiction. Oh my god, translated fiction really took a hit for me this year. I did not read too many books that were translated. I read 17 that were translated internationally and only 8 which were Indian, which was quite shit. I think I could have read way more Indian translated books, since that like I do feel like I championed those, but I didn't really like do that as much this year. I definitely had plans, but I didn't end up doing it. So I don't know, like in terms of the international books, I did do good with regards to that, but like with the Indian books I did not. So number that I will put, I think I want to read 20% of translated Indian fiction and 10% of translated international fiction. Oh, lol. And I want to be able to check on this every quarter at least to make sure that I have fit this and make sure that I can stick to this through the year. Hey, but I did win in terms of 10% being international fiction, so that's good. So I'm gonna give like half points to this. Like in terms of international fiction, I succeeded. In terms of Indian fiction, I failed completely. So like half points, I think. Moving on to stuff that is not really about books in particular, but kind of to do with like me and like bookish stuff in general. And for that, the 18th one, I think, is it 18th? It's 18th, yes. We're on resolution 18. And 18th is to do more collaborations. I have Congratulations! I did do that. So I started off the year with reading Annihilation of Caste with Mania, which was amazing. I ended up doing a lot of other collaborations through the year. I contributed to other people's channels. I made some really good friends. I joined people on live discussions. I also did like this independence sort of thing. So where we spoke about partition literature with four of my other really favorite Indian booktubers. Though I do want to do more collaborations this year. Like a lot of people ask me if they can, like, I can send in recommendations for their videos, and I always say yes, and then I always forget. So I just want to be more mindful of that and just like do that. But yeah, like collaboration wise, and the recording randomly stopped, but I was saying that I did a pretty good job with that. 19 is to finally start my damn book club. I did start my own damn book club. Yay! It's called Consciousness Raising Book Club, and I have a Discord as well as an Instagram, which I still haven't like gotten myself to like just put stuff on, but I will. It's amazing. I sort of had like a dry run of it like throughout last year, but like this year I'm making it more like official and stuff like that. So yeah, I did start my own book club. I did want to start an Indian literature book club as well, which like let me just get used to running this consciousness raising book club first, and then I will do like an Indian literature one. But yeah, I did start my own book club, so haha. 20 is personal, and I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I gotta figure out a way to monetize this shit. Because, okay, I did figure out a way to monetize this shit because I got monetized. So, ding, 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 ding. Yay. Though I haven't actually, like, gotten the money from it because, like, you need to make $100 first in order to get money. And so far, I have made I don't know how much because, like, that's why you need to view my videos and not have like ad blockers and stuff like that. But I also figured out a way for me to ask money from you, which no one has given me. So that's great. But it's this buy me a coffee link where you can tip me for like all the content that I make for you. But also like in general, if you just don't want to give me money, I can also give you something in return. Like for example, I can give you like 6 book recommendations. I can add you to my Instagram like close friend circle, stuff like that. But like no one has taken me up on that, so that's amazing. So I need to up that game just a teensy weensy bit, but it's cool. No one is obliged to give me money, but I did have like these review thingies where people give me money to review their books, which I reviewed honestly, and I did make some money off that, so that is good, but I could do better. The last goal is to start writing. The last goal, writing. Lol. I did really think about writing. I wanted to participate in this year's NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And I wanted to do it, but then I didn't realize there was a lot of like pre-work that goes to it as well. But I do have my ideas, and I am gonna like I have like put those things down. So yeah, I'm definitely going to start writing, though I haven't started like writing. I've thought about it a lot though, if that helps. But yeah, I think those were all my goals, I think. Yeah, so that is it for the 2021 resolutions. I think I did pretty okay. I did follow through with many. There were some that I fully failed, some that I did pretty okay with, and some that I exceeded. So yeah, I think 2021 pretty good with the goals part. Now let's get into the 2022.